Hey homies, welcome back. We're filming from the mobile lab again, So sorry, but the lighting is terrible in here. But anyway, just bear with me. I got a pretty cool movie from 1986. It's called The Golden Child, It's pretty crazy, you know what I mean? I was thinking about it today. I was like, man, it's nuts, because back in the 80s, man, there was a big emphasis with Asian culture in movies and stuff, you know what I mean? Like there was all kinds of stuff that was coming out from what I remember, like mid 80s through like the early 90s, like you had like Surf Ninjas and like movies like that, and I was like, man, it's crazy, because even like with this movie, The Golden Child, it came out in 1986. It's the same year as Big Trouble in Little China, There's actually some cross work for actors in this movie, right? But anyway, let me go ahead and real quick, I always forget to do this right off the bat, but let me go ahead and do this real quick. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends, because sharing is caring. And don't forget to hit the bell notification. That way you know whenever I upload, And like I said, please like the video, And leave a comment down below, because it helps me in the algorithm, all right? So anyway, let's watch it. I'm going to go ahead and throw you a pretty cool scene from this movie. One that I thought was kind of funny, you know what I mean? And then we'll jump into it on the other end, all right? All right, let's watch it, homies. Firme.
I said, I want the knife.
Let him ask again.
I want the knife. Please.
Only a man whose heart is pure can wield a knife. And if you're such a man, you will have it.
So anyway, this movie stars Eddie Murphy as Chandler Gerald, who's he's a private investigator. He searches for missing children, you know what I mean? Anyway, he was on the show when this lady, her name is Ki Nang, played by Charlotte Lewis, sees him, and she realizes that this dude is the chosen one who's supposed to help her find the Golden Child. The Golden Child, played by J.L. Reet, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's not really been anything else that I could tell, child actors. But anyway, a little backstory on the little boy, So he's like a Tibetan monk, and he's prophesized to be the Golden Child who is supposed to bring peace to this world, you know what I mean? So evil forces want to destroy this child, and this is where Chandler gets tied in with Ki Nang, because he's on the lookout for this little girl that's gone missing, and it all ties into the little boy, because well, I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but basically one thing leads to another, and they end up working together to find this child, even though Chandler at first is like thinking this chick's nuts, because she's talking about prophecies and all this stuff, and he's like, bro, I'm just a dude trying to find kids, It sounds bad. Anyway, so he's like, making fun of her, laughing at her and stuff, because like, he doesn't believe in any of that kind of stuff, Whereas this lady's a true believer, because she's seen all this stuff. She knows it, It's part of her lineage, I suppose you could say, But anyway, the evil being who has captured this poor child, his name is Sardu Numsa, who's played by Charles Dance, who's always been such a great actor at being evil. You know what I mean? He always plays a good character, always good evil guys, you know what I mean? We've most recently probably seen him as Tywin Lannister in the Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? My bad, guys. brain's going a million miles an hour, you know. I'm trying to lasso it all in and give you guys this good review, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm just saying, like, this movie actually has a lot of good talent. Unfortunately, like, I mean, it's not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely a very 80s movie. I really enjoy it myself personally, you know. Definitely don't knock it till you try it. You guys should check it out. But anyway, so he's the big bad, you know, and one of his henchmen is played by Randall Tex Cobb, who his character is Till, who used to be a professional boxer and a kickboxer, you know. He's a pretty cool dude, big dude, you know. He's done a lot of little bit parts and stuff, you know what I mean? But he's real recognizable, you know. He's even been on Married with Children, so, you know, if you guys have been around, you'll know who it is, you know. So this guy is like also like one of the henchmen that actually gets most work for somebody that doesn't actually talk in the movie, which is pretty cool, you know. He's more just like grunts and gurgles. But anyway, so Sardo and Till and his boys are moving this child around LA, you know, staying 2 steps ahead of Chandler and Key. So Key takes Chandler to go talk to Dr. Huang, who's played by James Huang, and they talk to the dragon lady, you know, and they're getting advice on how to find the kid, you know, and there's a lot of misdirection. They end up going after these bikers who are called the Yellow Dragons. They go, you know, it's a detective flick, you know, ultimately, in many senses of the word, you know, so they're going to be a lot of dead ends and, like, you know, trying to track the story, which they end up having to go to Tibet themselves to go get this knife, you know, that the big bad needs to basically take care of the child. You know, so another great character that you meet while in Tibet and Nepal is the old man, who is played by Victor Huang, you know. So, which is, like I was saying, is pretty cool because James Huang and Victor Huang were both in Big Trouble in Little China, and they're both in this movie. They both came out at the same time, you know, so it's really cool to see these two actors in, like, different roles in movies that are kind of similar in a sense, you know what I mean? But anyway, you know, so Victor Huang's character, the old man, he first meets Chandler in the alley selling necklaces, you know what I mean? And he's just kind of playing like he's, you know, is just a dumb vendor, you know? But he ends up he ends up putting the wrong necklace on Chandler's neck and jacking him for $100 and then disappearing, you know? So this whole time, Chandler's all mad and stuff because he just got ripped off by some crazy street vendor, you know? And so he's out for blood and stuff. He's just complaining the whole time. And they got to go up mountain and yaks and stuff and then pedal down rivers and a boat and stuff. And he's just not having a good time, you know? So they finally get up to the monastery, and guess who's the head monk here at the monastery? It's the old man, you know? So now this dude's like, hey, that's the guy that stole my $100, you know? And they're like, dude, chill out. We need him because we need to get this knife, you know? It's the dagger. So, you know, you've seen the scene. He goes through a little bit of a trial. To me, it feels very, the little trial thing, you know, it's condensed. It's actually not very long, but it does still have, like, some really hardcore Indiana Jones vibes, you know what I mean? Even with the little reel at the end, you know, but definitely worth watching it and stuff. And then it finally all culminates with them returning to the United States, finding the child, trying to rescue him, and then you get some really great, you know, this is back in the 80s when they had, like, practical effects, you know what I mean? So, you know, there was no real CGI to be speaking of, you know? And then, like, green screen was king, I guess, in a sense. Or no, it wouldn't be. I mean, they still would have used a little bit. Never mind me, man. All I'm saying is, like, Sardo Numps turns into a demon, you know? But, the way they do it is they use claymation, you know? And it was pretty cool, you know, even for back in the day, you know, it's obviously dated material, dated style, but I don't know. I always get like a warm feeling in my heart when I get to see scenes done like that, you know, like even with the old Clash of the Titans, you know, I always love that kind of stop motion animation, you know what I mean? But anyway, ultimately, Chandler does save the golden child along with Kenang, even though some bad stuff happened between them that you'll see once you guys watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it completely for you, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is, like, despite, like, some rough acting, especially, unfortunately, from Eddie Murphy's character, it's actually a pretty entertaining movie once you get into it, you know what I mean? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends because sharing is caring. Leave me a comment down below. And I los watcho. Firme, Holmes.